But let's face it, the courts are not going to save us. Politicians, Democrats, are not going to save us, because if they could have saved us, they would have already. It's always up to us.
There's a new provision in the Senate, big bill, that is about people having to put in the same amount of, say you want to sue the federal government, Grassley put this in. This is how it reads. It says, no court of the United States may issue a preliminary injunction or temporary restraining order against the federal government if no security is given in an amount proper to pay the costs and damages sustained by the federal government when the injunction or order is issued pursuant to Rule 65C. No court may consider any factor other than the value of the costs and damages sustained when making its determination of the proper value of such security. That determination, basically, what it sounds like is if I want to sue the government for $10 million, I got to put up a $10 million bond. Is that my correct reading of that?
You are, and let me contradict what I said a minute ago. I don't think the Supreme Court will buy into this one.
Okay.
Because you know what this is? This is a poll tax,
Yes.
but it's not designed to make people have to pay to vote. It's designed to make people have to pay to have their legal rights vindicated in court. It is the judicial version of a poll tax. It's a court tax. I don't think judges will buy into this. Listen, let the idiots in Congress, these weak, sniveling little, Donald Trump supporters, let them put whatever unconstitutional garbage they want in the big ugly bill. I don't think the courts will buy into that for a minute, because it's kind of the opposite of what our system of justice, our criminal and civil justice systems are supposed to be about. Everybody gets access to the court to try to make their case. You don't have to put up millions of dollars before you're able to file a lawsuit.
Yeah, I mean, it seems, well, obviously, if that were to become law, then only super duper wealthy people can sue the federal government, which it's wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
Yeah.
wrong. So let's get to the transgender ruling at the Supreme Court. I like that you called John Roberts Dr. John Roberts yesterday.
Yeah.
Because it's personal for me. I have a transgender grandniece, but I also have many friends that are transgender. And so none of them, by the way, were able to get care when they were younger because they just didn't. And you can't, it's insane that they said cis children can get the hormone therapies they need, but people that are trans cannot. And you're assigned your sex at birth. Some people are intersex. Some people, whatever it looks like on the outside is what they are, but they find out later there are other things involved. So it's not fair to the person that if they are, and you have to be diagnosed this way. It's not like you just show up and say, hey, if I showed up tomorrow and said, hey, I'm a dude, well, I need to go through, there's therapy, there's all sorts of things you have to go through even to start that. And it's taking away parents' rights. So it reminds me of Dobbs and Plessy and all of those things. Your thoughts? Go.
Yeah. So first of all, let me start with it's also personal for me because you have a transgender grandniece. And I don't say that flippantly. It's personal to me because it involves equal protection of the laws for everybody.
Exactly.
And that's why it should be personal
to everybody.
for everybody.
Absolutely.
And Dr. John Roberts thinks he is the one who can make these medical determinations, and he supplants the right of the transgender person, the family of that person, the doctors, the medical care providers. He says, no. I know best. I will take over that responsibility for everybody because y'all aren't up to the task to making it. Here's a quick quote from John Roberts. The Tennessee ban does not exclude any individual from medical treatments on the basis of transgender status, but rather removes one set of diagnoses, gender dysphoria, gender identity disorder, and gender incongruence, from the range of treatable conditions. Thank you, Dr. John Roberts. Who in the hell do you think you are to render this medical advice and bind everybody to it when you're not a damn doctor? This is like not constitutional law. It is this social engineering because they don't like certain kinds and categories of people. Are you kidding me? This is where we are in America. And as we discussed yesterday, yeah, we've been here before. Plessy versus Ferguson, when the Supreme Court said, oh, government-sponsored racial segregation, as long as it's separate but equal, that's just fine. Or Korematsu interning people just because they happen to be of Japanese ancestry, that's fine. Ultimately, those horrific Supreme Court rulings were reversed and are, they have a special place in Supreme Court justice hell and unequal treatment. Hopefully this will get to a point where it's reversed as well. But these things, unfortunately, ordinarily can take years or decades to make right. But this is where we are.
Yeah, it bothers me, even if I didn't have a grandniece or other friends that are trans, obviously, because it's ridiculous. It makes no sense. It's this tiniest minority of people in the country, and it's depriving parents of their rights to treat their children. So now they're going to have to figure out how to get this care without breaking the law, which they just made, and it's just. Of course,
if they cross state lines to get it, then maybe we're going to come after them anyway, depending on their state of origin. I mean, we are living in this hellscape of what's the name of the show, The Handmaid's Tale. This is, this is kind of what we are living in.
Yeah.
But I tell you, Joe, I don't want to sort of jump to the next issue or narrative, but let's face it, the courts are not going to save us. Politicians, Democrats, are not going to save us, because if they could have saved us, they would have already. It's always up to us. We're the only ones who can save us. And I think, as evidenced by where we are at this moment, we went from a huge hands-off rally to an even huger No King's Day rally. I can't wait for the next one. I'm ready to go today, tomorrow, every damn day.
Same.
Right? Because we're going to keep building, and we are going to be the ones who have to save us, as is always the case.
Exactly. And on that note, that call to not arms, but call to peaceful protesting.
Peaceful protest.
Peaceful.
Let them overplay their hands.
Exactly.
And try to bash in the heads of the citizenry, because you know what? That will be painful for all of us in the moment, but it will only help ensure our victory.
Yep.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Glenn. You get Ms. Miller next week. Thank you again for being on my show. We'll see you next week.
Hey, are you traveling this summer? Will you leave instructions for your house sitter, the name and number of your vet, maybe, the code to your alarm system? Think about the steps you take to prepare for vacation, and you'll get a sense of what goes into a knockbox. Just go to theknockbox.com, use the code Stephanie. Knockbox is a complete system that helps you organize all of your accounts, possessions, and estate plans for your next of kin. Each knockbox, that's Knockbox, comes with a comprehensive checklist that helps ensure you add everything they'll need to manage your estate when you are gone. From your funeral directives to your insurance policies, even the keys to your storage unit, the Knockbox helps you organize it all. If you've got a household, you need a Knockbox. Right now, Stephanie Miller listeners save 16% off the Knockbox of your choice. Just go to theknockbox.com/Stephanie. That's theknockbox.com/Stephanie to get 16% off. Stay calm, get organized today.